Oh, sorry guys. My mic hasn't been working. I'm so sorry. But yeah, like I was saying, um, Chelsea, I think they're gonna perhaps win this game by 1 goal to 0, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. But that is my prediction. Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. That is my first prediction. I believe we can win because the squad we have, and hopefully Thomas Tuchel will change the tactics and the formation, which I'm gonna give you guys as my predicted lineup for the second part of this video. So yeah. But for now, that is my first prediction. Chelsea 1, Manchester City 0. The next game, of course, is United against Villa. Now, of course, I'm going to predict a draw because Aston Villa are a decent team, they are strong. Even without Martinez, they're strong. The likes of Cash, Buendia, all these type of players. Whereas for Manchester United, excuse me, they had a shock lead. I mean, a shock result against West Ham when in the Carabao Cup this week. So Man United aren't looking good so far. Even though they are in third place by now, they're still not looking good when it comes to the Champions League or the Carabao Cup because their fans want Man United to win trophies. But if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't deliver it, then he's going to be the only manager that hasn't made Man United winning trophies because Jose Mourinho done it. But Sir Alex Ferguson is one of their greatest managers ever because every season is trophies after trophies after trophies. Um, Mourinho only won the Europa League, but Solskjaer none. So yeah. But for this game, I think I'm gonna go for a draw because it will be a tough game for United, especially the way Aston Villa are playing well against the big teams. Even though I want Aston Villa to win, I think I'm gonna go for a draw because I think Ronaldo will score again. I think he will score again. So yeah, that is my first prediction. Man United won, Aston Villa won. Leicester City against Burnley. I mean Leicester City 3-0 all day. I mean Burnley, they just cannot get wins at home or away. Even though their last away win was against Everton last season, but Leicester City, they've got a better squad than Burnley. Even though Burnley have got Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, Nick Pope making big saves. But Leicester City, I think I might go for 3-0 because after that horrific loss against Leicester, especially denying the two disallowed goals, they were so unlucky not to beat Brighton. But I know they'll beat Burnley because Jamie Vardy still their best striker. They've still got James Maddison, Cassius Michael. You know, it will be great seeing Burnley win, but I don't see Leicester City losing this game. So yeah, that is my prediction. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened, but yeah, like I said, Leicester City 3, Burnley nil is my prediction for that game. Now, I've really got to be quick. Now, Norwich City, of course, are looking for their first win after 5 losses in a row, but Everton, of course, they've got knocked out by QPR, which is their shock result for that game. But I think they will bounce back because Rafa Benitez is still their good manager because Everton wants to be back in the at least competing for the European places, whether it's the Europa League or the Conference League. That's where they want to be. And Rafa Benitez is starting to do very well for Everton. So yeah, whereas for Norwich City, they're in a turmoil right now, absolutely turmoil. 5 losses after 5 games is not a good result for them. And I think they're going to be relegated, the first team to be relegated. The other teams, I really don't know. But Norwich City are going to be the first team ever to get relegated. If they keep on going like this. So for this game, Everton 3-1 is my prediction. So yeah, I don't see Norwich City beating Everton whatsoever. I think they will score, but Everton will be all over them in that game. So yeah, that is my prediction. The other game, of course, is West Ham United against Leeds United. Now, of course, even though Leeds United went through to the next round and they face Arsenal, I think West Ham will beat them because, like I said, I didn't expect West Ham to beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. I really, really didn't. So yeah. But for this game, 2-0 West Ham is my prediction. I think here that West Ham could really do well, especially when they beat Dynamo to grab last week. They have David Moyes, who's become one of the greatest managers ever for West Ham, because West Ham would never be in the stage if it wasn't for him, if it was for David Moyes. So yeah, so he's starting to be really good for West Ham, David Moyes. So yeah, 2-0 West Ham is my prediction. The other game, of course, is Newcastle. Now they're looking for their first win as well. But Watford, the way they beat Norwich City was absolutely fantastic. And Newcastle, they're in absolute turmoil as well. Could there be another team that could get relegated for the very first time? The fact I heard that fans don't want that to happen, so Newcastle have to pick up a win. But unfortunately, I'm gonna go for 2-1 to Watford because it's at their ground, um even though they've lost to Wolves, I think they will bounce back because they did beat Norwich away, and I think there might be Newcastle at home. It will be great to see Newcastle win, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. So 2-1 to Watford is my prediction for that one. The other game, of course, is Brentford against Liverpool. Now, of course, I like to see Brentford win since it's at their ground, but Liverpool are going to beat them because Brentford did beat Wolves, and they destroyed Rochdale by 7-0. But I think Liverpool are going to be stronger. I think they have more possession, more chances, and like so Sadio Mane joined the 100 Premier League club with Mo Salah as well, Virgil van Dijk. All these type of players will be really playing well. I mean, it will be great to see Brentford beating Liverpool, but I think Liverpool will do it, and I think it's between. I think this season is between Chelsea, Liverpool, maybe Manchester United that are going to be the team who's going to fight for the title. That is what I think. So Liverpool, unfortunately, I'm going to go for 3-0. Even though I like to see Brentford do win since it's at their ground. I like to see Ivan Toney did what he have that same kind of performance when Brentford beat Wolves 2-0 last weekend. So yeah, it will be great. But Liverpool are going to win. The next game, of course, is Southampton against Wolves. Now, Southampton are also looking for the first win. I mean, it's only Norwich City, Newcastle, Leeds, and Southampton haven't got their win. I mean, it's not looking good this season for them. But yeah, I mean, Wolves. I mean, last season, Wolves went 1-0 down to make it 2-1, and I think it will happen again. I think Southampton will score first, and then Wolves will come back to it to 2-1. So yeah, Wolves, I know they're gonna beat Southampton because their new manager has new tactics. Because Wolves here had so many chances to beat Brentford, but they couldn't manage to do that, and that was the most disappointing for them. So yeah, 2-1 to Wolves is going to be my prediction for this game. And now, like I said before, the big game, of course, is the North London derby. Can Arsenal get the same amount of points as Tottenham after having a poor start before the international break? Because remember, all the Tottenham fans were chatting about, oh, they're bottom and they're on top. Well, guess what? They've lost to Crystal Palace 3-0 and they've lost to Chelsea 3-0. So if Tottenham lose to Arsenal, that means after having a great start, they're gonna be Spursy again. Great start, and then they bottle it as usual. And also could be the exact same points as Tottenham if they manage to beat Tottenham at the Emirates. And next, not forget, it's at the Emirates, and Tottenham always bottle it because whenever they're 1-0, 2-0 down, I mean 1-0, 2-0 up, also seem to find a way to make a great comeback and beat them, especially at the Emirates. If this was the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, then it's going to be difficult for Arsenal. But since it's at the Emirates, I know they're going to beat them. I think they will give them one goal, but Arsenal will beat them 2-1. That is my prediction, 2-1 to Arsenal, of course. And last and not least is Crystal Palace against Brighton. Now, of course, Brighton are doing well under Graham Potter because last season they were close to relegation, but this season it's a bit of a shock because I didn't expect Brighton to play to have a couple of wins. I thought that they would be struggling against perhaps Leicester City or perhaps Everton, maybe some other teams as well, but the way they're doing well on the Graham Potter, the way they're performing tells you everything. Anything can happen. I mean, if Brighton are in the European places at the end of the season, that would be great for them, because their fans didn't expect that. Even I didn't expect Brighton to be in European places, and I don't think any other team will want that to happen. So yeah, but for me, yeah, I think Brighton will win this game. I think Crystal Palace will score, perhaps also an Edward, but I think Brighton will win because Brighton, especially Yus Bissouma, is absolutely doing well. So yeah, that is my prediction. So yes, guys, that is all my Premier League predictions on match day 6. Now let's quickly move on into the Chelsea versus the Chelsea versus Man City preview. And like I said, I think this will be a tough game for Thomas Tuchel. But when it comes to games like this, he can always, always do well. Remember that when we went to Anfield, we were 10 men down, but Thomas Tuchel put a tactical masterclass and making sure that we left Anfield with 10 men at least a point. Yeah, could it be if we didn't went down to 10 men, then Chelsea would have had the chance to beat Liverpool, But like I said, the if we had more chances, then we could have beaten Liverpool, but unfortunately we didn't take them. Whereas for Pep Guardiola, he's looking to bounce back after a shock draw against Southampton because I would have personally thought that Man City would destroy Southampton by 5-0. But they did take their chances, but I think Southampton did really well to defend, as Southampton was so unlucky here not to get a penalty because the referee awarded a penalty, but the VAR managed to but the VAR overturned it. So Southampton was so unlucky because I think that should have been a penalty, and I think Southampton should have won that game. So yeah, unfortunately for them, but they're looking to bounce back. And like I said, this is like the Champions League final when Chelsea beat them 1-0. So the big question is, can we beat them again under Thomas Tuchel? We're gonna have to wait and see. Now, I saw Thomas Tuchel press conference earlier today, and Mendy is fit, but Mason Mount is injured, and Christian Pulisic is still injured. So yeah, Mendy will be in goal when Chelsea face Man City tomorrow. So yeah, but Mason Mount is fit. So the big question is, will Thomas Tuchel change his tactics to a 3-5-2? We'll have to wait and see because when we did that against Tottenham, we were all over them. More attempts, more 10 on target, 3 goals, brilliant performance in the second half. And I think Thomas Tuchel now have to realize that Chelsea have to really perform well in the first half. Even though Man City are going to get more possession, we have to perform really well in the first half and the second half because we cannot go to the first half being too slow to the function, then the second half, then we perform well. In both halves, we have to perform better. So hopefully Thomas Tuchel will change the tactics and go for 3-5-2, which is gonna be my predicted lineup, which I'm gonna do for you guys right now. So in goal, of course, it's got to be Mendy I've I've heard what I saw the reason why Mendy didn't start for Chelsea against Tottenham is because he got injured, so that's why he took a rest. But he is fit and he will be able to start. So yeah, Mendy for me has got to start because he can make big saves. He knows what he's doing. He's focused. He knows where the danger is. He just and tell these defenders, come on, don't mess it up. So that's why I love Mendy, and that's why he's got to start since he's fit enough to start. Now we move on into a back three. Of course, it's got to be Rudiger, Christensen, and Thiago Silva because, like I said, Thiago Silva was absolutely superb against Tottenham. That's why he was my man of the match. The tackles, the duels, everything. He won everything, and he even scored a goal. He's 37, 37, and can and still deliver and great performances, especially in big games. Unbelievable from him. The more he can do that, yeah, the more I see Chelsea keeping clean sheets. So hopefully Thiago Silva can have that same type of performance as he did against Tottenham, especially in the second half. Sorry guys, having a bit of a cold. It's nothing COVID, but just having a bit of a cold. So yeah, Rudiger, let's hope he can do the same. Christensen, the same thing. So I never complained about the defense. It's mostly the midfield and the front two that I'm worried about. But anyway, moving on. So let's move on into wing back. So the the two wing backs for me, it's got to be Marcos Alonso and Azpilicueta. Then we have a mid. Then it's basically five in midfield since. Oops, sorry, what's going on? Oh, okay. So yeah. So since Mason Mount is injured, oh shit. Sorry guys. Yeah. So since Mason Mount is injured, for me, I've got to put in Jorginho there because because him and Kovacic alongside Kante was absolutely superb. And they're the reason why we created more chances, especially in the second half. Like I said, that game could have ended 6-0 to Chelsea. But the way we performed in the second half when N'Golo Kante made the difference was absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I think yeah, if Thomas Tuchel can put five in midfield with Kante in the middle and Jorginho and Kovacic alongside with him, then I believe Chelsea can really, really pepper Manchester City. Of course, it's going to be a tough game, but if these three can do really well, I know that we can beat Man City. And Marcus Alonso was superb, got the assist, could have had the chance to score for himself. The same with Aspilicueta. So yeah, that is what I want from Chelsea, and especially that midfield five along with the wing backs. So let's move on into the front two before I finish. So my front two, I'm going to put in Lukaku on the right and Timo Werner on the left because Timo Werner did really well against Aston Villa. Couldn't manage to get more goals for himself. But the only thing I like Timo Werner is because when it comes to big games like this, he can really do well. Of course, he may not score, but at least he gets a couple of assists. At least he's fast when he comes on the left hand side. So yeah, for this game, I like to see Timo Werner start because Kai Havertz was absolutely poor against Tottenham. He was poor. So I like to see Timo Werner, him giving him a chance. And if he doesn't do well, then you can bring on Kai Havertz to replace him. But for this game, I like to see Timo Werner start and Lukaku as well. Of course, he hasn't scored against the big six. He scored for against Arsenal, but not for Liverpool or Tottenham. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't expect him to score every game, which I would like and hope to do. But he doesn't score in every game, so I cannot really blame him on that game. But if he can score against Manchester City, then I'll be very, very happy. If not, then all I can say is that he's tried his best because we know him that he's a world-class striker and he's dangerous when he's on the ball. So yeah, of course, I like to see him score, but if he doesn't, I'm not going to complain. I mean, we signed Lukaku just to score more than 20 goals in the Premier League and maybe more than 30 goals in all competitions. So yeah, that is what I expect and most of the Chelsea fans expect. So yeah, so I so yeah, but the only way for Lukaku to score is to give him service because if they're not giving him service, then how are you supposed to score? Just how? I just don't get it. If you don't feed the ball to him, then he's not going to score. Make sure you look at both Timo Werner and Lukaku since I want these two to play along with each other. Pass the ball to them, and then you can see if we're going to score or not. Give him the surface that both of them really need. So that's what I expect from the midfielders tomorrow. Just feed the ball to both of them so that Chelsea can manage to break Man City down and at least beat them. So that's it, guys. That is the end of my predicted lineup and also this match preview. Now, of course, I predicted 1-0 Chelsea because it's going to be a tough game, but I believe Thomas Tuchel can go to Stamford Bridge and beat Pep Guardiola because last season under Frank Lampard, we've lost to them 3-1 with perfected performance. But this season, since we got Thomas Tuchel as a tactical masterclass, I believe he can beat Manchester City and Pep Guardiola for the fourth time in his career at Chelsea. So let's hope that happens tomorrow. So that's it. That is the end of this preview and my Premier predictions. If you enjoyed this combo video, the Premier League predictions and the preview, make sure give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the like button if you're new. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new. Don't forget to hit the bell notifications. Share this to everybody that you know, and make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing a live watch along for the Chelsea versus Man City game, and I'm looking forward to it. Even though I'm nervous, I'm still looking forward to it. So yeah, really, really looking forward to it. So make sure you stay in tune for that one. So thank you guys so much for watching Newcastle shows. Take care, and as always, up the Chels.